G'day, Mr. Bill here again. Today I'll be doing a tutorial on how to make Psytrance. It's actually pretty easy. I'm just going to show you some simple steps on how to make a basic Psytrance loop. So the first thing I'll have to do is loop 4 bars of a arrangement. So I'll put my points between 5 and 9, that's 4 bars, and I'll turn the loop point on up here. So the first thing you want to do to make Psytrance is turn the BPM from 120 up to about 145 to 150. I prefer it around 150. You can go faster or slower, it's up to you. But for the stuff I'm doing, it's kind of full on style, and I'll go 150. So first thing I have to do is lay some kick drums down. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 16 kick drums. And then I'll turn the channel down to -12. Because once we add everything together we don't want it to clip. So if we listen to that now, it's just basic thing that keeps time, has a bit of punch. Pretty simple. So the next thing I'll do is drop an EQ on there, and I'll take the mids out of it because I don't like mids in kick drums for Psytrance anyway. So it sounds more Psytrancey. The next thing I'll do is I'll drop an operator on a MIDI channel. And I'll start to try and create a bass line. So I don't want any other oscillators, I just want one oscillator for this. And then I'll create one little chunk of MIDI clip over a kick drum. So a quarter of a bar worth of MIDI clip. Put it in 16th notes. I'll do it in F. So we go 3 notes, and then we just drag that out to loop it. So I'll make that as long as it goes, and that's your basic bass line. It's way too high though, so I'll select all the notes and hold shift and press the down arrow and drop it down an octave. I reckon it could go even lower than that, so I'll go lower. That might be a bit too low. I'll start here, and then later on when we mess with the filter I might be able to go lower. So the next thing I want to do is go to this oscillator by clicking on this grey panel here. I'll change it from a sine wave to a saw wave, excuse me. And I'll turn the filter on. Yeah, so we could probably go lower than that now. That's good. Make it a low pass 24. Basically this section here is your filter envelope, so where your filter starts and how quick it drops down. So, and this here is your percentage on how much it's affecting the filter. So at the moment it's not doing anything. So we'll turn the frequency down to about maybe 80-ish hertz, around there somewhere, and then we'll slowly turn the envelope up, and you'll be able to hear the difference. So yeah, that's pretty good there. I might take all the resonance out of it. Maybe bring the decay back a little bit. And this blue point here you can grab onto, and that's the rate at which the envelope drops. So we'll play around with that so I can show you what it sounds like. So we'll drop it down pretty quickly, maybe turn the frequency up a bit. Yeah, that's alright, it's sounding pretty good, but it doesn't sound slappy enough. Maybe I'll try a different saw. That sounds a bit better. That's a bit too clicky. Yeah, I'll try saw 8. Mess with this filter again. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I might make the volume a bit lower down here, just it's not messing with the kick so much. I'll try and even the levels out on the mixer here. Yeah, so that's pretty good. So the next thing we need for Psytrance, I guess, is some hi-hats and stuff. So the first thing I guess I'll look for is an open hat. I'll just rename my channels kick, bass, and hat. So I'll go open hat. I'll go to my samples. I'll try and look for a hi-hat. I'll use that one. So we'll have that there. It needs to go down -12 again because all the samples basically you'll have in packs and stuff sit at about 0 dB, so once you add them all together they just end up clipping, so you want to try and take all your channels down a little bit. So we'll just cut the end off it, we don't need that. That's too long for me, so I'll cut it again. That's better. So I'll just duplicate that right over the loop. Create a new channel, call it closed hat. I'll find a closed one. Let's try this one. So basically you want this hi-hat to be playing around the open one. So we'll make the first one lower than the second one, so it's got a bit of feel to it. -8 probably. Maybe a bit shorter. Maybe cut the open one a bit shorter too. We want to EQ all the low frequencies out of it as well because they're kind of sounding a bit loud. I have to turn the close hat down as well to -12, turn the channel back on. Oops, don't want a dynamic tube, want an EQ. That sounds alright, I'll just copy that loop. I'll just grab everything after it because we've done stuff to the open hat since then and then copy it. Still a bit loud, I reckon. Turn it down a little bit. The bass is still sounding a bit funny. I might just play with that for a second. I'm going to try a different wave. Sounds really weird. I'll try a square wave. Something better. Yeah, so that sounds alright. So the next thing we'll do is add a snare drum. So we've got a snare, look through the samples again for a snare. Snares. That one's got a bit of punch to it, but that might be too much. We'll try it anyway. Drop it on every second and fourth beat. And again, turn the channel down. This one's pretty loud, so I might make it -15. Yeah, so it's not really doing it for me. I'll try that one. I'll drag the end of the sample out. Get rid of these ones again, just put them on beats 2 and 4. Yeah, so that one's alright. Might EQ the mids out of it as well. Nah, it sounds a bit weak. Might try that one, it's kind of like a funk snare, that might work. It doesn't sound too bad actually. I'll use that one. It's got a weird ring to it, so what I'll do is I'll find that ring by turning the Q factor up and messing around with the frequency to try and find the ring where it rings the most, and then I'll cut that. I think it's ringing there, so I'll cut all that and open it up a bit. It still sounds weird. I might try another snare. Yeah, I'll try that one. It's a bit too long. I'll cut it a bit shorter. Yeah, that one sounds alright. I'll try that one. It still sounds weird. Try that one. So just bear with me. Just trying to find the perfect snare. The bass still isn't doing it for me either, so I might go back to a saw wave. I'm going to turn the pitch envelope on, have it pitch pretty quickly. So what I'm doing here is I'm moving where the pitch starts right up and drops right down really quickly, and I'm turning the percentage of how much it does it up a little bit. And basically what's going to happen here is it's going to put a bit of punch into the front of the bass. So that's it with it, and without it sounds like this. So it just gives you that sort of clicky punch at the start, so we'll have a listen to that. Yes, that sounds better to me. I think the snare needs a little bit of reverb. The EQ is clipping a bit, so I might just turn that down slightly. The snare sounds weird still. I might try pitching it down. I'll warp it first and try pitching it a few semitones down. Yeah, I don't know. Snare's weird, but I'll just leave it for the moment. So what I'll do next is I'll create a MIDI channel. I'll create a big MIDI clip. I'll get analog. I'll drop that in the channel. I'll just create a big note, whatever note, doesn't matter because I'm going to be using white noise, so I'll just create a big note. I'll tell the analog to give me a white noise. Turn that down a bit. So it sounds pretty shit at the moment, so I'll put a filter after it. I'll put it on bandpass, move it around the middle somewhere, turn the LFO up, turn the rate up. That sort of gives you that washy sound. I might give it a bit of resonance as well. I might have another LFO on this filter here actually. Could be interesting. That's pretty cool. You've got two LFOs and they're sort of happening at different times in different speakers, so it kind of gives that circular whooshing feel. That's pretty cool. So what I'll do after that is I'll drop an auto pan. There's a cool trick with an auto pan. If you turn the amount right up, the rate right up, the phase right up, and the shape right up, it turns into this sort of chopper, like a slicing device. And if you put it onto a musical note, you can actually slice stuff in time. So we'll put the click on and hear that. That's 16th notes. So it's not in time. So what I'll do is I'll get this offset and I'll keep moving it until it's in time. So there you go, 243 degrees seems to be in time as far as I can tell. Then what I'll do is I'll go to the rate and I'll slice it up at different intervals and stuff. But I'll start at quarter notes and then we'll break it down from there. So we'll duplicate that pattern there. And then I'll break it down even further. We'll go to eighth notes and we'll do little things in there to make it more interesting. Just turn the click down a bit with this volume down here. So yeah, that sounds pretty cool. The next thing I might do is drop try a flanger after it. We'll put the flanger before the auto pan so it slices that up too. Turn it on to negative, try to dry wet down a little bit and just play around with it basically. Might mess around with this frequency a bit too, just automate it up and down. I'll do the same with this frequency as well on the filter. So both filters kind of copy each other. Call that channel white noise. And if we add that to the mix, basically sounds like this. I'll turn it down a little bit. So there you go, there's your basic Psytrance loop. So from there I might just start messing around with fills and stuff, and then later on in the tune maybe mess around with some textural stuff and some different rhythms. I might start off with 2 kicks. Classic Psytrance kickoff. So I've just duplicated a couple of bits at the end here to create a little bit of a fill. And I'll copy the whole pattern again. At the end of the next one I might do something slightly different. We'll go 1, 2, 3, and then on the last one I'll double it and I'll get rid of the snares. Maybe get rid of a couple of these hi-hats too. Put this on here. There we go. So now we've got your basic Psytrance track basis. So yeah, basically it's pretty simple. That's where I would start a Psytrance track from, and from there I would just add some crazy LFO'd pitch sounds. Actually, I'll just quickly show you a crazy LFO'd pitch sound that I'm talking about. So I might make a MIDI clip there. I'll go analog. I'll go to my oscillator. I'll turn the pitch mod LFO up. Actually, I'll make it start low, and I'll make it rise up. And then we'll just make a big note at F, I believe we're working in. that sounds pretty shit at the moment, so what I might do is I'll automate the rate to go up. I might start the LFO a bit higher than that. Maybe automate the frequency to go down. Actually, maybe start it from low and come up. And I'll automate the resonance to come up as well. Turn it down a little bit. Just name that like pitch LFO or something like that. Maybe put a ping pong delay at 3, so every sort of it's hard to explain what the 3 does. I guess every 3 quarter notes it repeats itself. So we'll try that. It sounds pretty cool. So yeah, just do stuff like that. Add different rhythms in, different sounds. Just mess around with it. Basically, it's pretty interesting and fun stuff. So yeah, take care. Visit www.mrbillstunes.net if you enjoyed this, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Take it easy. Bye.